What is going on, guys? It's your boy McDullen and welcome back to another Destiny weekly vendor reset video. This is basically a video that I do every single week, going over all of the weapon vendors. I go in depth into the weapons that I'd recommend picking up, and then I also, towards the end of the video, put a bunch of screenshots on screen and basically go over the armor stat rolls. So first of all, let's just start off with the new monarchy. For New Monarchy this week, there is no really good weapons. There's no weapons that I'd recommend picking up, but as always, I go just slightly hover over all of the weapons just so you can see the perks on the weapons, just in case you're after a certain role for yourself. Anyway, let's move over to the Crucible Quartermaster. So for Crucible Quartermaster this week, I'm actually going to recommend only one weapon. First of all, we'll just quickly hover over all the weapons again. The Palindrome again this week is really bad. Definitely wouldn't even recommend picking it up. It's got like hidden hand, triple tap and reinforced barrels, so definitely no good Palindrome. But the rocket launcher this week isn't too bad if you're playing Crucible. It's got grenades and horseshoes, a field scout, and then the first perks are pretty bad. It's got vacuum or last resort, but I mean you could probably go for vacuum, which isn't too bad necessarily, but pretty decent for Crucible overall. We've also got soft launch in there as well for a little bit more velocity. Anyway, let's jump over to Dead Orbit. So jumping into Dead Orbit, there is one weapon I'm actually going to recommend picking up this week. That's going to be the auto rifle, but we'll get to that in a second. Quickly to show you the perks on the weapons first. So the auto rifle this week has high caliber rounds, perfect balance and persistence. It's not the absolute perfect best roll you can have, but it is still pretty decent. High caliber rounds is always a great perk to have in Crucible. Perfect balance and persistence are both stability perks, which is really nice, especially on a high rate of fire auto rifle, so definitely not too much of a shabby roll. Anyway, let's jump over to the Vanguard. So for the Vanguard Quartermaster this week, there are no weapons that I'd recommend picking up. The Parthian shot has a really terrible roll. It doesn't have like counterbalance or anything like that on it. So yeah, pretty terrible week for Vanguard Quartermaster. But anyway, let's jump over to the Future War Cult. So for Future War Cult, there is one weapon that I'd actually recommend picking up this week. It's not the Wormwood and it's not the Wounded Scout Rifle. It's actually going to be the Rocket Launcher, the Warpath again. Pretty decent roll. Down the middle it's pretty bad, but we do have Field Scout, the choice out of Perfect Balance or Third Eye. For me, I'd probably just go with Perfect Balance, and Cluster Bombs. So this is a pretty decent PvE rocket launcher. If you're looking for a solo burn rocket for strikes or something like that, pretty solid place to start. Anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for all the weapon vendors. We're going to basically put on a load of screenshots on screen. Feel free to pause it wherever you need to of basically all of the armor stat rolls. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace.